ओके सो सबजना जो आइपुगेको छ नमस्ते एकचोटि होइन. सो आजको सेसन वी हेभ विथ अस प्रतीक कार्की सर फ्रम काठमाडौँ इन्टरनेसनल स्कुल. अनि हि लुक्स आफ्टर द एकाडेमिक साइड अफ द स्कुल होइन. त्यो बाहेक पनि प्रतीक सर चाहिँ इज इन्भल्भ इन अ लड अफ थिङ्स है. उहाँ सरको रिसेन्ट भेन्चर भन्नुपर्दाखेरि मैले थाहा पाएको भनेको एउटा अर्बन रुफटप रेभोल्युसनको कुरा छ. त्यसपछि सर क्यानाभेडा भन्ने संस्थामा पनि सिइओको रूपमा कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ क्या अरे. त्यसपछि सरको यो हेम्प ब्याग अनि मार्क्सको पनि एउटा सानो भेन्चर छ जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई. आई थिङ्क देयर आर लट अफ थिङ्स प्रतीक सर इज इन्भल्भ इन होइन. सरबाट नै सुन्दा एकचोटि रमाइलो हुन्थ्यो होला. त्यो बाहेक चाहिँ आज बेसिकली द सेसन इज अबाउट हाम्रो स्पिरिचुअलिटी अनि त्यस्तै इन्टरनल हिलिङको कुराहरू छ होइन. अब मैले भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति के भने जस्तो हुन्छ होला होइन. बरु म टाइम केही पनि नलिकन प्रतीक सरलाई नै सेन्टर अफ द स्टेज बनाएर ह्यान्ड ओभर गर्छु माइक होइन. सो नमस्ते प्रतीक सर है. अब द स्टेज इज अल योर्स भन्छु है म चाहिँ.
नमस्ते, धन्यवाद. मुटु त ढुक ढुक भयो नि त. थ्याङ्क यू सबैभन्दा पहिला कारखानालाई यो अपर्च्युनिटी दिनुभएकोमा. म चाहिँ एक हिसाबमा अलिकति छक्क पनि परेको थिएँ, किनकि स्पिरिचुअलिटीको टपिक भनेर भन्नुभयो. अनि एजुकेसनमा हामीहरू लागिरहेका छौँ, कारखाना लागिरहेको छ र स्पिरिचुअलिटी पनि हामीहरूले खोज्ने हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ म निकै नै इन्सपायर भएको थिएँ. त्यो लर्निङ एटिट्युड, त्यो लर्निङ नेचर र त्यो टिमदेखि लिएर सबै कुराहरू हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ. सो थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच फर दिस अपर्च्युनिटी. अब हामीहरू स्टार्ट गर्न गइरहेको छौँ. सो दिस प्रोग्राम आज चाहिँ हामीहरूले इन्ट्रोडक्सन मात्रै गरिरहेका छौँ. द प्रोग्राम इज टाइटल्ड अनलक योर सेल्फ. So this is a program that is designed by Re-Evolution Academy of Wellness that is yet to be launched. Currently, we have already launched Re-Evolution Academy. That is a wing program of Kathmandu International School. So this is a skill-based learning school. So Urban Rooftop Revolution is just a part of it. But besides that, there are a lot of different skills that we share, and we create that platform for people or individuals to come and experience, so they can develop those skills through experience. So basically that is Re-Evolution Academy. But Re-Evolution Academy of Wellness is totally focused just on the wellness part. So our mission is world transformation through self-transformation. So I am Pratik Karki. To tell a little bit about myself, I am an educator, I am a teacher, I am also a farmer, I am also a builder. So we also have a venture called Dream Structures Worldwide. So we are able to build different sustainable structures that is good for the environment and also for ourselves. So next, I am also a meditation and yoga expert. I am also a healer, and I am also a social entrepreneur. So, social entrepreneur because we have an NGO, and we have different companies. We have been trying to generate some finance in order to support the society. So, the model that we are working on is a for-profit model. So, in today's presentation, we are going to discover superficially about what is spirituality, why do we need it, and how can we get it. So this is, I would like to start with my story and this quotation. Religion is following someone's experience. Spirituality is having your own experience. So basically, I started my spiritual journey because of a sickness, because half of my body was paralyzed, and I had no solution. यता डक्टर कहाँ पनि गएँ, यहाँ देशभरि देखाएँ, विदेशमा पनि देखाएँ, तर कतैतिरबाट चाहिँ त्यो उपाय भनेको चाहिँ मैले भेटिरहेको थिएन. So doctor told me that I have to go through an operation, but I had no guarantee. So whole life I would have to suffer from this disease. So later on, somewhere I kind of believed that my body already has what it takes to heal itself. So I met a friend of mine who told me that there are all these alternative ways through which I could heal myself. And this was uh, how I entered to the journey of spirituality. This is what helped me to find my guru. So today, whatever knowledge I have, whatever I am, is because of His grace. So when I first went to discover what is spirituality, I always was a little philosophical. So I was always looking for knowledge. I had read a lot of books and I knew a lot. But one day, a friend of mine questioned me. So he told to me, "This who is talking right now, who is this?" So this question kind of totally moved me. It shook me. So I realized that whatever I was speaking, my thoughts and my words, most of them they were not mine. So I was reading all these quotations, I was reading all these books. So it was someone else's experience that I was sharing. So this made me question everything, and basically I connected with this having your own experience. So basically, in the process, I learned how to build my own experience. So that is what we are going to do today. So first of all, I'd like to wish all of you to write in a word one strength you can write in the chat box one strength that you'd like to give to the world. In a word, one strength. It can be any adjective, anything. Tolerance, yeah, that is strength. So thank you, Sagunji. Consistency, yes, that is something we really need. So thank you, Sangdenji. Kindness, humility, that's amazing. So let's just imagine for a moment by closing our eyes that we are giving this strength to the world. Take a deep breath in, out. And just feel that you are giving this strength to the world. Deep breathing in, out, relax. So basically, when we are giving this strength to the world, we are actually giving that to ourselves. And with our giving, we create that world. With our thought, with our emotion, we are creating that world. But there is something that we are that is beyond this creation, beyond this thought, and beyond this feelings. So, who are we? So, this is something that we are going to discover today. Because this question, who am I? This has been the greatest mystery in the world. For example, if suppose you would have this time traveler's watch, let's suppose that this time traveler's watch was made in Nepal, and you really don't know anything about it. So if you want to use it, this time traveler's watch, what would be the first thing that you would look for? You can turn on the mic and you can share. In
आई
order to
थिङ्क
use this, yes.
त्यो टाइम सेलेक्ट गर्ने डायल हुन्थ्यो होला कि त्यो सर्च गर्थेँ कि म
त्यो हुन्थ्यो होला कि होइन, त्यो त्यो हुन्छ कि हुँदैन, कसरी लाएर युज गर्ने, त्यो कहाँ दिएको हुन्छ होला?
मैले कुरै बुझिनँ सर।
जसरी अब त्यो हजुरलाई कसरी लाएर युज गर्ने होइन, त्यो कुराहरू, त्यो इन्फर्मेसनहरू चाहिँ हजुरलाई केमा दिएको हुन्छ होला?
क्याटलग म्यानुअल
म्यानुअल होइन।
हजुर
सो बेसिकली कुनै पनि सोफिस्टिकेटेड टेक्नोलोजीहरू युज गर्नको लागि हामीहरूलाई एउटा म्यानुअल चाहिन्छ नि त।
हजुर हजुर
तर कस्तो भयो भन्दाखेरि सबैभन्दा ठुलो सोफिस्टिकेटेड टेक्नोलोजी चाहिँ हामी नै हो कि, अनि
हजुर
त्यसको म्यानुअल चाहिँ हामीहरूले पाइरहेको हुँदैन। अनि त्यही म्यानुअल चाहिँ अब बेसिकली हामीहरूले डिस्कभर गर्छौँ र त्यो प्रोसेसलाई चाहिँ स्पिरिचुअलिटी भनिन्छ। सो अर्को एउटा क्वेसन छ हजुरहरूको लागि, प्लिज इन्ट्रोड्युस योर सेल्फ विदाउट योर नेम, without your status, without your religion, without your profession, without your country name. So you have to introduce yourself without your name, without your profession, without your status, without your country name. So you can write in the chat box. So let's take a moment to think. नाम पनि भन्न नपाउने, काम पनि भन्न नपाउने,
त्यही त गाह्रो
काम पनि भन्न नपाउने, कार्ते त। ट्राई गरौँ एकचोटि हामीहरू। सो माइक अन गरेर पनि कसैले सेयर गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, अथवा कम्फर्टेबल हुनुहुन्छ भने च्याट बक्समा पनि लेख्न सक्नुहुन्छ। एनिथिङ, इट क्यान बी एनिथिङ आउट अफ दिस बक्स। Okay, so Pavitra ji has said, I'm a person who likes to connect with people and share the love in every form. So that is a really nice perspective. So thank you, Pavitra ji. I'm a person who likes to read, write, and travel. Exactly. So that is also a very nice perspective. Someone who likes to live and laugh. So that is really interesting. Yes, all of us, we like to live and we laugh. There is something that is common in all of us, right? And in these, there are also differences. So I'm a person who treats people the way I want to be treated, and I like to surround myself with good energy. Exactly. So thank you, Sangvinji. That is really beautiful. I am a big fan of food. I like reading book and eating food. So that's really great. Yeah, my sister loves cooking and I love eating. It is much more easier and better. Someone who loves and wants to be loved. So that's really beautiful. Thank you, Monica ji. Okay, so now we are moving forward. So usually we don't see ourselves like this. Why? Because we come to this world and after some days, we are given this name. And with this, our dream begins. Our conscious mind starts to activate. So then this child wants to grow up, it wants to walk, it wants to talk, it wants to go to school, it wants to have a career, it wants to have a life, it wants to have a wife, it wants to have children, then it wants children's career. So basically this is a dream state, and the child starts to identify itself as all these things that are in the box. So that is a reality, different reality that was created, but we were something before that name was given to us. So that name was given to us by our parents. So thankful to them, we got a chance to experience this life. So they now started to educate us. There is a process of nature, and there is this thing called nature and nurture. So what the parents did was they started to nurture us, and we now started to identify ourselves with different religion, with different caste, and with different cultures, and all these things. So that started to create our way of being. Now, some wanted to dreamt of being a football player. Some dreamt of being an astronaut. So there are all these different kinds of profession. But oh, sorry. So actually, here is one. So this image is not currently displayed. So here is a question for all of you. What makes us different from each other? State of awareness, habit, brain, personality, thinking, our belief, experiences, beliefs. Exactly. So the way we think, yes. So though we have a lot of different dreams and aspirations and goals, but all of us, we have it differently, and that is the belief system. So that belief system determines our personality, our attitude, our destiny, our thoughts, our actions, our feelings, and our habits. So this belief system is something that is created on a subconscious and unconscious level. Usually what we do is we are only living in the conscious world. So our perception is there, and this perception sees the world outside us, and our senses, they are the information channel that helps us to see the world. But these senses are so outwardly driven that it is not able to realize how our belief system is. So in order to experience this, there is a whole program that we have to go through. So I can't just tell you right now about this belief system, and like you might understand it on a superficial level. We might be able to understand it, but uh, in order to understand deeply, we have to experience it. So uh, these belief systems, they vary and they differ from each other. So that's why some are mangoes, some are banana, some are lychee, some are avocados. So there are different fruits, different trees, but the roots are the same. So basically what we are going to explore here is those roots. Deep down, we are created by nature, and if we look ourselves from the eye of nature, let's suppose we are the sun. So the sun does not love one plant more than the other. The sun loves everyone equally. But in order to have this view, we have to kind of decondition all the conditioning. So the conditioning is the belief system. So the spirituality is the process of unlearning and deconditioning so that we can see uh, through the eyes of God. What do you see in this image? Variety? Does it have a meaning? Like, what is this picture? Let's just take a moment. Whatever comes to our mind. Noise, mountains, various elements of the world. Nice. Different pattern. Yes. So we can see all these things, but yet, like things are a little not so clear, right? We have a blur kind of a view. So let's look at this picture. What can you see in this picture? Let's take a minute to go deep. Pirates, war, I, fighting, bird, insect. I feel like I am a bird and watching this. That's really beautiful. Thank you. So certainly there are so many things, right? Nice. Okay. So certainly there are so many things that we can see, right, in this image. So usually life is also like this. When we look things from a superficial level, then the image is kind of blur. But when we look really deep, then we can actually see the patterns and the meaning, what is hidden uh, in this life. So now here is another picture. So we are also exploring some science. So what do we see in this picture? What is this picture? Sun, solar system. Lot of energy is coming through. Exactly. So definitely this is the solar system, right? So can you imagine like how this system was created? It took a lot of time for this to happen and for us to exist in this planet Earth. And there is all this whole universal system that is there to take care of life on Earth. So sometimes I just wonder and I imagine how creative, the creator is. And everything is scientific. This is not something like superstition. So there is a system of everything, like uh, our nature. So we have these different spheres. So we have atmosphere, we have hydrosphere, we have biosphere, we have geosphere. So basically, this is the result of the study and research of our fellow beings who have given their time and who have given their life in order to give us this knowledge. And this knowledge is the knowledge of structure, system, and function. So these are the basics of creation. So in creation, there is a structure there is a system and there is a function in everything. Let's take a look at this marvel. So we can see ourselves, right? So this is probably the picture of the human body. So if I ask you on a scientific level, what are you made up of? What is this body made up of? Flesh and bones, atoms, exactly. Flesh. What are these flesh made up of? Cells. Cells, right? So what can you find inside those cells? Life. What is that life, talking on a scientific way? Microorganism. Actually, the answer has already come. Atoms. Exactly. A system that supports each other. Yes. So there is this whole complex system that supports each other, and everything is glued. And basically, what glues it is the atoms. For example, if there is just a light bulb without the electricity, then this body would be called dead. But there is life in this body, and the reason why there is life is this atom. So inside atom, there is proton, neutron, and electron. And talking on a quantum physics way, there are also other energy particles that are neutrino and photon. So they are still discovering what we are made up of. So we are also made up of these elements. So these are the elements that make our body. So 90% of your body mass is in fact stardust. So because all the elements except for hydrogen and helium are created in stars. So basically, we are actually the universe experiencing itself. Because if we look at how this universe, how this planet and everything was created, it is all because these elements started to interact with each other. And in the root of all those elements are atoms. So spirituality is the process of experiencing that atom. So this is how our brain cell and our universe looks like. This was a photo taken of the brain cell and of the universe, and it looks very much alike. So our inner system is actually similar. That's why in our Vedas, in our scriptures, it has said that the whole universe is within our self. So someone who is able to experience, or if we are walking in the path to experience this, uh, is spirituality. So it is really magnificent, this whole system, this whole structure, and like how it functions. We are this round ball. So there is this earth that is round, and we are actually floating through the universe. And the reason what is actually holding us is the simple thing called gravity. And basically, this was something that our Newton Dye discovered. So the way how he discovered was that he questioned. So basically, science was also uh, created invented in the 16th century, and the birth of science is the root of the birth of science is questioning. But this science has actually existed far beyond this science is existing today. So, what Newton Dai said to us already was told by Rishi Kannad in the 22nd century. So that was like far beyond before what when Newton had actually experienced this. So we come from this land of the rishis, we come from the east that is gifted uh, so much, where these rishis have come, they have given their whole life in order to uh, experience this knowledge, in order to gain this knowledge, and then they share this knowledge. So basically, similarly like that, uh, another one of rishi is Rishi uh, Aryabhatta. So he was someone who had already found the formula of pi. So let's take a look at this video.
India has always
Can you listen?
vast knowledge of the powers of India has forever drawn seekers of knowledge to this land of mystery and ancient wisdom. When Galileo stated that the earth was round, little did he know that a good thousand of years before him, Indian scholar Aryabhatta had already mentioned this clearly in his book Aryabhatya, written in 499 CE. Aryabhatta and another scholar Brahmagupta went further on to correctly state that the earth rotates on its own axis and revolves around the sun, something that finds a mention even further back in Veda. It was written between 2141 to 3129 BCE. What the world called geography was known as Bhushastri for ages in India. Bhu, Sanskrit word for earth. Shastri means science. In 1030 CE, Al-Biruni, a Persian scholar who came to India, wrote of his amazement about India's vast knowledge in geography in his magnum opus book Kitab-ul-Hind. The ancient Indian scholars knew that science of the earth extended way beyond the earth itself and included the atmosphere. Galacharya, in his work Shishyadi Buddhi Tantra, speaks of the seven atmospheric layers as Pavaha, Pravaha, Udvaha, Samvaha, Swaha, Parivaha, and Paravaha. Thousands of years later, modern science recognized these as troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, the home of knowledge, wisdom, and philosophy for thousands of years. This is amazing India.
So basically, we come from that tradition and we are really blessed. And this tradition actually was not religious. Religion was created later. What they had was they had spirituality. They were able to explore their deepest core through experience. So that's why they were able to have all these different kind of uh, knowledge. Why? Because they were the experience of that atom. Because if we look at our brains, then there are all these different neurons. So in one neuron there is uh, thousand, more than thousand information that can be stored. So what they did was they were able to connect with their atom, and they were able to connect with the super atom, and because of this reason they had all the knowledge of the secrets of the universe, like this knowledge of pi. So the system, the structure, and the function, the core formula of this creation is pi. So if we look at the nature, if we look at our body, if we look at the resources, then everything follows this nature. So science has actually helped us to see the practicality of everything. So we have all these different mathematical ways through which we are able to prove and through which we are able to experience all these things. And because of this reason, we have all these different technologies, and uh, those are actually gifts of science. But there is this inner science. There is a technology of energy. So this technology of energy, in the past, our ancient rishis, they were able to experience and they had this knowledge very well. But today, we have kind of somewhere lost the connection. So this is the map of our world. So our world also has these energy centers that are called chakras. So uh, there are all these different vortices, different draws of energy that flows between the in the world, that is able to harmonize and that is able for life to stabilize and be possible in this planet Earth. Some technologies that were created that are still a mystery is the technology of the pyramids. So still people are exploring, people are trying to find out how was this pyramid created, and still there are only theories. There is nothing that is like authentic, and no one is able to prove that this was how this pyramid was created, and they don't even know why this pyramid was created. Because in order to really understand this, we have to understand things from a spiritual level. So basically, the pyramids were created in these energy centers in order to stabilize and harmonize the energy better. Now, this is a very deep secret that I am giving to you. So this probably, maybe like very few would be also mentioned in this YouTube. So this is something that we have to understand through our own experience. So in order to be able to understand that, we have to unlock our technology, inner technology. So this is the greatest technology that is given to us. That's why in the past, uh, people were able to use this technology really well, and there have been inventions and there have been all these architects and like all these different structures that still we have not been able to build even with 10 cranes and stuff like that. So how we are able to build this is because of this technology. So we have this energy body, and the study of this energy body is also called spirituality. So if we want to study this technology, there is a whole program that we have to go through. So currently this is just an introduction, so I cannot go very deep into it, but uh, just some superficially I would like to cover up. So there is the mental body, there is emotional body, there is psychic body, there is subtle body, and then there is spiritual body, and this also has different levels. And with these different levels, our level of awareness and our level of being transforms. So this is beyond the thought, beyond the body, beyond the feelings. So it is the way of transforming and reformatting the whole software. So once we are able to do it, then we are able to live a life that is in higher consciousness. So most of the life is stuck in the third dimension. We have shame, we have guilt, we have despair, we have fear, we have anger, we have desire. So if we want to go to the next dimension, then there we are just going to feel courage, neutrality, optimism, uh, acceptance, and inner light. So if we want to go on to the higher dimension, then there is inner wisdom, inner love. This love is different than the normal love that we feel or the movie show to us. So there are three kinds of love. One is the love that we do from the root chakra. So in this kind of love, it is mostly physical love. So it can be infatuation, it can be, like attraction, and so this kind of love is temporary. It is not, like uh, real, because we are running after the illusion, something like this. But in order to understand the illusion, we also need this knowledge. So quantum physicists today, they have been telling that it is an illusion. They have already proved this. So we actually, understanding and experiencing are two different things. So if we want to experience now this higher form of love, then that comes from our heart chakra. So in this love, there is unconditional love. So that is the love of the mother. But the love of the mother does not only come for its own child, it comes for the whole humanity, even plants and even animals. So in this form of love, your whole being is far more different. Because suppose if you are feeling uh, divine, feeling this very higher form of love, then naturally you are going to have higher form of creativity. Your imagination power is going to be much more better, and then you can invent, you can solve problems, you can face the life and deal with the challenges very easily, if you have that state of being. And then there is higher state of being that is comes from the crown chakra. This kind of love is a blessing. Your presence is enough. You just are there, and basically this is a very higher state of awareness, and the plants and the animals also, they dance in your presence. Just your presence transforms, because we talk about vibes, right? So uh, this higher consciousness, when exists, it comes from the non-existent. So when that non-existence exists, then there is a very higher form of energy, and this is an infinite realm. So there are uh, no limitations here. For example, the there is no space and time here, because I am a healer. I have been able to experience this. One of my friend once called me crying, and this friend had not been able to sleep. This friend had not been able to uh, eat for a week, and this person was in Thailand, and this person was feeling, very traumatic at that particular period of time. So after he called me, then we began this healing process. So once we started to heal this process, that day he also ate, he also was able to sleep. He showed to the doctors, he went to places, but they could not understand what was going on with him. So basically, when I was also suffering from paralysis, then I also got to understand later on what the roots of my problems were. So the roots of my problems were not just physical, it was also mental, it was also emotional. Because whatever we do, the karma that we do, it actually stays inside us. There is this memory system. So this creates, there is this law of attraction. So the kind of energy you have, if suppose you are happy, if you are smiling, everyone wants to come to you of that energy. If you have a different kind of energy, you are going to attract that kind of energy. So basically, if you are uh, able to transform, and if you are able to reformat yourself, then you can live a life where you can manifest the kind of life that you want to. So there are no limitation, because what we think, we become. So this life we experience through our thoughts, through our feelings. But most of the time, what we are doing is we are reacting towards life, and life is happening to us, and we are not able to make it happen. Why? Because mostly we are stuck in the third dimensional living. So there is pursuing human activity to support your human existence, materialism, wealth, status, power, preoccupation with self, driven by the ego, fear, pride, ignorance, jealousy, arrogance, self-righteousness. So basically, these things are there, but it does not mean, like these things are bad. It is just that you are not controlled and you are not driven by those things. You understand those things so well that you are able to use them like a tool. And once you are able to use them like a tool, then you are able to ascend to the fourth dimensional living. So that is commitment to promoting others, achieving a positive reality along with you. Information is shared freely, lack of ego satisfaction, personal journeys are recognized and valued. Love is seen in everything. You become that love, like Jesus said, love. So he did not just say that, he did that. He was that. So there is this story that I remember. This story was from the 13th century. It was from the Roman civilization. There was King Frederick. So uh, he decided to do this research. So in this research, what he did was he was trying to find out if a child comes from different uh, cultures of mother and father. Suppose father is Spanish, mother is French, then what culture would this child have if this child is kept away from the parents? So there were a lot of children who were brought and who were separated from their parents, but the climate was created in such a way for this research that the king said that uh, the maids who are taking care of them only are supposed to give them food and only are supposed to change their diapers. But there is nothing that they would give them beyond this. So after a certain period of time, what happened was each and every child died. Now, can you imagine why would that happen? किन भयो होला त्यस्तो? Their emotional needs were not met. Exactly. What they did not get was love. So basically, we all are made out of love. So that is our root. And in order, spirituality is not something that is, like trying to become superhuman and like this. You are just learning to become human, learning to become more natural. Because once you are going to experience your soul, no one needs to teach you about love. No one needs to teach you about compassion. This is not on a mind level. Your nature becomes that because that is your being. And in order to experience that being, we have this path and we go through certain disciplines in order to be divine. So that is basically spirituality. So Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So basically, spirituality is the process of making the unconscious conscious. So Carl Jung was asked in an interview, it can still be found in the YouTube. So he was asked, do you know God? So Carl Jung said that is a difficult question. Uh, First, he was asked, do you believe in God? So Carl Jung said that yes, yes, but now I know. And believing is just, like blind. So basically, spirituality is also the process जहाँ हामीहरूले सुन्ने र मान्ने मात्रै होइन, यो प्रोसेस चाहिँ जान्ने हो. त्यो हायर लेभल अफ कन्सियसनेस आफूले एक्सपिरियन्समा ल्याउन सके भने चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ स्पिरिचुअलिटी हो. अरूको कुरा सुनेर अरूको कुरा राखेर हामीहरू नत्र पण्डित मात्रै हुन्छौँ. त्यसैले द्याट इज नट स्पिरिचुअलिटी. सो इन अर्डर टु get this spirituality, we have these different levels. So level 1 is building the foundation. पहिला चाहिँ हामीहरू एकदमै सर्फेसियली जान्छौँ. यहाँ चाहिँ हामीहरूले कसरी लाएर माइन्डलाई युज गर्ने, कसरी लाएर इमोसन्सलाई युज गर्ने, बडीलाई कसरी टेक केयर गर्ने, त्यो खालको कुराहरू सिक्छौँ. लेभल 2 मा त्यसपछि एनर्जी बडीको कुराहरू आउँछ. त्यो चाहिँ बिल्डिङ द स्ट्रक्चर. त्यसपछि हामीहरू त्यो सब एक्सपिरियन्सियली हुन्छ, प्र्याक्टिस गर्दै जान्छौँ. त्यो लेभल 1 सिक्नको लागि हामीहरूलाई करिबन 3 विक्सको प्रोग्राम हामीहरूले गरेका थियौँ. तर त्यो साँच्चीकै सिक्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीहरूलाई टाइम लाग्छ. अनि त्यो हामीहरूले सिकिसकेपछि बल्ल हामीहरू लेभल 2 मा, त्यो लेभल 2 को लागि झन् बेसी टाइम लाग्छ. र त्यसै कारणले गर्दा त्यसपछि बल्ल हामीहरू लेभल 3 मा जान्छौँ. लेभल 3 मा गइसकेपछि हामीहरू बल्ल सेल्फ रियलाइजेसन हुन्छ, हामी को हो त. अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ हामीहरूले गड इज म्यान भनेर एक्सपिरियन्स गर्छौँ. अनि त्यसपछि लेभल 4 मा चाहिँ म्यान इज गड भनेर हामीहरूले एक्सपिरियन्स गर्छौँ. त्यहाँ चाहिँ गड रियलाइजेसन हुन्छ. र बेसिकली यो सबै चाहिँ हामीहरूको एउटा सोलले खोजिरहेकै हुने रहेछ. त्यसै कारणले गर्दाखेरि पनि यो लाइफमा हामीहरू आउने रहेछौँ. किनकि धेरै जसो अहिलेको एजुकेसन पनि कस्तो खालको हुने रहेछ, प्रोफेसनल एजुकेसन, डक्टर बन्ने, इन्जिनियर बन्ने, त्यो खालको एजुकेसन हुन्छ. पहिलाको चाहिँ एजुकेसन कस्तो हुन्थ्यो, गुरुकुलमा चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ गड बन्न सिकाइने रहेछ. र अहिलेको त्यो कन्सियसनेसलाई त्यो गड पनि चाहिँदैन. तर यदि हामीहरू एउटा राम्रो त्यो स्पिरिचुअल टुल्सहरूलाई युज गरेर आफूलाई हामीहरूले एक्सप्यान्ड गर्न सक्यो भने पछि गएर हामीहरू डक्टर बने पनि राम्रो बन्छौँ, इन्जिनियर बने पनि राम्रो बन्छौँ. र बेसिकली स्पिरिचुअलिटीको गोल पनि त्यही हो र हामीहरूको रको गोल पनि त्यही नै हो. थ्याङ्क यू. एनी क्वेसन्स? any questions?
Yeah, thank you so much, Pratik sir. If any of us have any kind of question, please do ask. है अनि सर हामी यहाँ एकजना मात्र नभएर 4-5 जना हजुरको यो पुरै कुरा 9 जतिसम्म भनौँ न.
ओहो, हेलो एभ्रिवान, मास्क लगाइराख्नु भएको रहेछ, प्लिज स्टे सेफ.
हेलो है सरलाई, सबजनालाई. म इयरफोनमा थिएँ, सबले सुनेनन् होला क्या.
हजुर.
हेलो
हेलो प्रतीक जी, के छ हालखबर?
ठिक छ हजुरलाई?
एकदम ठिकठाक.
ओहो, चल्दैछ.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting.
So yeah, if any of us have any kind of questions, sir, like please do ask.
I want to ask a question.
हजुर.
So यो जुन तपाईको यो सेसन बारे इमेल आएको थियो त्यसमा भनिएको थियो कि यु आर वर्किङ अन ट्राइङ टु इम्प्लिमेन्ट दिस थिङ्स इन स्कुल एजुकेसन. बच्चाहरूलाई स्पिरिचुअलिटी बारे कसरी हुन्छ स्कुल लेभलमा इन्टिग्रेट गर्न खोज्दै हुन्छ. सो त्यसको आइडियाजहरू मलाई थाहा पाउन मन छ. हाउ क्यान
हजुर. So basically currently we are creating programs. So we are creating this program with some scientists from each one university. And once we have already introduced level 1 program. So this is something that we can also do. But besides that, what we are also doing is we are also building the whole curriculum. So यो करिकुलम पनि हामीहरूले इन्टिग्रेट गरेर त्यो बच्चाहरूलाई हामीहरूले सिकायो भने चाहिँ उनीहरूको लाइफ चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो हुन्छ र त्यसमा हामीहरू वर्कआउट गर्न सक्छौँ. र रिएभोल्युसन एकाडेमी अफ वेलनेसले बेसिकली गर्ने नै त्यही हो. कोचिङ, मेन्टरसिप अनि यो स्पिरिचुअल अवेकनिङदेखि लिएर यो सबै कुराहरूमा चाहिँ हामीहरूले हेल्प गर्छौँ प्रोफेसनली.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Samir, right? Yeah, thank you, Samir, question को लागि. I think अब if अरूको केही छ भने please do ask हैन. नत्र अझ पनि स्पिरिचुअलिटीको बारेमा केही इन्फर्मेसन लिनु परेमा म एकचोटि प्रतीक सरको इमेल पनि फरवर्ड गरिदिउँला, यु क्यान गेट कनेक्टेड इमेलकै थ्रुबाट। मैले माथि सरको लिङ्क्डइन अनि फेसबुक अकाउन्ट पनि को लिङ्क पनि राख्दा थिएँ च्याटमा, यु क्यान गेट कनेक्टेड विथ हिम त्यो प्लेटफर्म्सहरूबाट पनि। सो आई थिङ्क 11 बजे हामी भेला भएको थियौँ, 12 बजिसक्यो, 1 घन्टा एकदम सुमधुर सेसन पनि भयो। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच प्रतीक सर है। अब आज आई थिङ्क धेरै कुराहरू ज्ञान पाएँ मैले चाहिँ होइन। मलाई एकदम कस्तो त्यो के भन्छ पर्सपेक्टिभ नै क्या चेन्ज भएको क्या मेरो सर्टेन कुरामा। आई थिङ्क म अझ पनि फलो गर्छु होला यो कुराहरू, एन्ड आई थिङ्क अरू पनि विल बी डुइङ द सेम। साङदेनको एउटा क्वेसन रहेछ
सर मैले हजुरलाई क्वेसन सोधै छु है अघिदेखि नै। सो आई रेड वान बुक पावर अफ सबकन्सियस माइन्ड भनेर, अनि हजुरलाई पनि थाहा होला त्यो बुकको बारेमा। अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ जुन अघि हजुरले नि अलिकति मेन्सन गर्नुभयो होइन, हाम्रो थट्सलाई चाहिँ राम्रो हुनुपर्छ, अनि त्यसरी नै मेनिफेस्ट हुन्छ सब्जेक्टिभ र अब्जेक्टिभको उसमा बााउन्ड्रिजमा त्यो बुकमा त्यही कुराहरू नै गरेको छ होइन। अनि अघि हजुरले फेरि यो अनकन्सियसलाई चाहिँ कन्सियसको लेभलमा चाहिँ हामीले लान सक्नुपर्छ भन्नुभयो नि। अनि यो सबकन्सियस र कन्सियसमा चाहिँ आई थिङ्क आइएम अलिकति क्लियर, हामीले जसरी सोध्छौँ त्यही खालको नै हाम्रो बिहेभियर एन्ड एक्सन्सहरू त्यस्तो हुन्छ भने, तर अनकन्सियसलाई चाहिँ कन्सियसमा चाहिँ हाउ डु यु सी द्याट?
सो बेसिकली यो अनकन्सियसमा चाहिँ जसरी हामीहरूले कुनै प्याटर्न्स हुन्छ होइन हामीहरूको भित्र, जसरी क्यारेक्टर भयो, त्यो क्यारेक्टर चाहिँ यो सबकन्सियसमा पर्यो र त्यो क्यारेक्टरको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीहरूको एउटा नेचर हुन्छ र त्यो नेचरको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीहरूले कन्सियसली एक्ट गरिरहेका हुन्छौँ। तर त्यो क्यारेक्टर र त्यो नेचरलाई ट्रान्सफर्म गर्न सक्ने एउटा वे चाहिँ अनकन्सियस पनि हुन्छ। र कहिलेकाहीँ अब हामीहरूले कुनै एक्सन गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ तर थाहा नै हुँदैन हामीहरूलाई त्यो भइरहेको छ भनेर। जसरी अब के अरे कोही बस्ने बित्तिकै यो खुट्टा काँप्ने हुन्छ नि,
हजुर,
अनि आफूलाई थाहा नै हुँदैन त्यो काँपिरहेको हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि आफूले त्यो अनकन्सियसली एक्ट गरिरहेको हुन्छ। अनि त्यो अनकन्सियस नेचरलाई पनि आफूले बुझ्ने त्यो प्रोसेस पनि छ होइन। र सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ यो सबकन्सियसमा चाहिँ आएर सुरु हुन्छ, किनकि अहिले जुन अब हामीहरूले यो सटल बडीको कुराहरू गरेछौँ यो सबै चाहिँ अनकन्सियसमै पर्छ कि। अब यो सबकन्सियसमा चाहिँ जसरी अब हामीहरूको ह्याबिट भयो, हामीहरूको क्यारेक्टर भयो, यो सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ सबकन्सियसमा पर्न जान्छ र त्यही अनुसार नै हामीहरूको एस्पिरेसन्स, हामीहरूको ड्रिम्स र यो थट हामीहरूले जुन सोचिरहेका हुन्छौँ त्यो थटलाई चेन्ज गर्न भन्न चाहिँ भन्छ, तर त्यो प्रोसेस चाहिँ त्यति सहज चाहिँ हुँदैन कि होइन। त्यो थट भनेको त कस्तो भन्दाखेरि लेन्स हो नि त। सपोज अब मैले अहिले ट्रान्सपेरेन्ट ग्लास लगाइरहेको छु, कसैले कालो चस्मा लगाउँछ, कसैले हुन्छ नि होइन हरियो, कसैले रातो चस्मा लगाउँछ होइन। अनि बेसिकली सबजनाले आफ्नै चस्मा लगाइरहेको हुन्छ त्यो क्यारेक्टरको, अनि त्यही अनुसार नै उनीहरूले त्यो थटबाट देखिरहेको हुन्छ कि। र त्यसलाई देख्ने प्रोसेस चाहिँ बेसिकली अब स्पिरिचुअलिटी हो।
Okay, so what I understood is हाम्रो unconscious के खालको बिहेभियर अथवा डिजायर्सहरू चाहिँ इट्स इनर कुरा विच इज विथ अस, अनि त्यो कुरालाई चाहिँ हामीले स्पिरिचुअल हिलिङ अथवा त्यो टुलहरूबाट चाहिँ कन्सियस भएर चाहिँ त्यसरी एक्ट गर्न सक्नु पर्यो।
हो, पहिला त्यसलाई बुझ्नु पर्यो हामीहरूले।
हजुर,
किनकि धेरै जसो चाहिँ हामीहरूको सेन्सेस चाहिँ बाहिरतिर फर्किरहेको हुन्छ कि। किनकि तपाईँले आफूलाई कहिले देख्नु भएको छ
मिररमा?
मिररमा होइन, त्यो पनि त बडी हो नि त होइन।
पिक्चर्समा
पिक्चरमा त्यो पनि हामीहरूले आफ्नो बडीलाई देख्छौँ होइन,
हजुर
तर हामीहरूले वास्तवमा आफूलाई चाहिँ कहिले नि हेरेको हुँदैनौँ कि, किनकि हामीहरूको जन्मिने बित्तिकै हामीहरूको यो सेन्सेसहरू आफ्नोभन्दा बाहिरै मात्रै बाँचिरहेको छ
हजुर
र त्यो सेन्सेसलाई हामीहरूले भित्रतिर ड्राइभ गरेर अनि त्यसपछि आफूलाई हामीहरूले हेर्नको लागि चाहिँ त्यो टाइम पनि लाग्छ। जसले आफूलाई हेरे ऊ त बुद्ध भयो भगवान भयो, तर त्यो
हजुर
खास हामीहरू पनि हुन सक्छौँ, त्यो केही ठुलो रकेट साइन्स छैन कि।
थ्याङ्क यू सो मच सर, त्यति नै थियो मेरो क्वेसन चाहिँ। Oh, I
हजुर
think you've got another question again.
या स्पिरिचुअल टिचरमा चाहिँ बेसिकली मैले एकजना चाहिँ अब मेरो यहाँ पछाडि फोटो हेरिराख्नु भएको छ कि छैन होइन, उहाँ मेरो गुरुजी होइसिन्छ, के अरे परम गुरु श्री त्रिकुटानन्दजी भनेर। अनि हामीहरूको आश्रम पनि छ यहाँ स्वयम्भूमा, हामीहरूको हिलिङ सेन्टर पनि त्यहीँ छ। हामीहरूले इभन कोरोना भाइरस पनि हामीहरूले ट्रिट गरिसकेका छौँ। यो कुरा सुन्दाखेरि अब हजुरहरूको अलिकति त्यो ओपन भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि मात्रै मैले यो भनिरहेको हो होइन, तर यही हो कि अहिले यो वर्ल्ड कन्सियसनेसमा चाहिँ यो कुराहरू पचाउन, यो कुराहरू एक्सेप्ट गर्न अलिकति गाह्रो हुन्छ होइन, साइन्टिफिक भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि। तर हामीहरूको 2टा आइसियु पेसेन्टहरू जो मरिसक्यो भन्नुभएको थियो, उहाँहरूलाई पनि हामीहरूले ब्याक ल्याइसक्यौँ। र यो कोरोना कहाँबाट आयो, कसरी लाएर आयो, किन आयो देखि लिएर यसलाई कसरी लाएर हामीहरूले सोल्युसन गर्ने, कसरी लाएर क्योर गर्ने, त्यो सबै पाथवे, त्यो सबै सिस्टमहरू हामीहरूले दिइसकेका छौँ। र उहाँको इन्टरभ्यू पनि हजुरले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, यो अरण्यको टिभीमा पनि थियो, प्राइम टिभीमा पनि थियो। उहाँले भनिसक्नुभयो, इभन च्यालेन्जै गरिदिनु भयो उहाँले, 1 महिनामा म ठिक गरिदिन्छु भनेर। तर हामीहरूले इभन मिनिस्ट्रीमा पनि यसलाई हामीहरूले अप्रोच गर्न खोज्यौँ तर भएन। अनि यो स्पिरिचुअलिटी फलो गर्नेमा चाहिँ मैले एकजना, किनकि वर्ड्सहरू हेरेर होइन चाहिँ त्यो टिचरलाई बुझिन्न रहेछ कि, किनकि अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि मैले हेर्दाखेरि कोही टिचरहरूको चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै फलोवर्सहरू हुन्छ र एकदमै मिठो शब्दहरू बोल्ने हुन्छ, तर उसमा चाहिँ खास गरी त्यो स्पिरिचुअलिटी चाहिँ नहुने रहेछ। किनकि हामीहरूले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ उसको आफ्नै सटल बडीहरू डिस्ट्रोय भएको त्यस्तो खालको कुराहरू। तर मैले अहिले एकजना देखेको भन्ने चाहिँ अम्मा भन्ने चाहिँ एकजना मैले देखेको छु, अमृतानन्द माई भनेर, उहाँ केरलामा हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँले सर्टेन लेभल अफ ट्रुथ चाहिँ दिइराख्नु भएको छ, तर एकदमै गाह्रो छ हुन्छ नि यो रियल स्पिरिचुअल टिचर आफूले पाउनको लागि, किनकि यदि आफूले त्यो पाएन भने फेरि झन् ठुलो इल्युजन क्रिएट हुन्छ कि। त्यसैले एउटा त्यो भनाइ नै छ, अन्धा गुरु बेहरा चेला दोनों नरकमै ठलम ठेला भनेर होइन। त्यसैले यो अहिले युट्युब गुरुहरू पनि धेरै निस्किरहेछन् होइन, अनि मान्छेहरूले यो युट्युबमा हेरेर, अनि राम्रो पनि हो, सर्टेन लेभल अफ अवेरनेसहरू आइरहेको छ। तर कहिले पनि हजुरले विदाउट प्रपर गाइडेन्स चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिस नगर्नु होला, किनकि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हजुरको त्यो सिस्टमलाई चाहिँ त्यसले करप्ट र डिस्टर्ब गरिदिन सक्छ। त्यसैले हामीहरू एकदमै केयरफुल हुनुपर्छ यो कुराहरूमा।
या थ्याङ्क यू सो मच समीर, प्रतीक सरलाई नि साङ्देन है, अझ पनि राम्रो राम्रो डिस्कसन भयो। सो आई थिङ्क अब 1 घन्टा एकदमै क्रस पनि भएको छ। कतिजनाले खाना खा होला, कतिजनाले खाना नखा होला, अब खाना खान नै जानु पर्ला एकचोटि है। सो या थ्याङ्क यू सो मच प्रतीक सर है, आई थिङ्क इट वाज अ वन्डरफुल सेसन। आई थिङ्क साङ्देन, समीर, मोनिका, म, पवित्र दाई, एभ्रीबडी ह्याड अ गुड इन्टेक, प्रज्ञा अल्सो। सो लेट्स गेट कनेक्टेड इन द फ्युचर एज वेल। यस्तो कुरा म सबजनालाई सरको इमेल पनि फरवर्ड गरिदिन्छु, यस्तो केही कुरा भयो भने सरसँग बेझिझक सोद्धा हुन्छ। आई थिङ्क सर विल बी ह्याप्पी टु एन्सर एभ्रिथिङ। अनि म सरको सोसल एकाउन्टहरू पनि एकचोटि फरवर्ड गरिदिउँला। अनि वान थिङ अबाउट प्रतीक सर इज, सर एकदमै मैले पहिला पनि भने जस्तो मल्टिडिसिप्लिनरी हुनुहुन्छ। सो सरको नयाँ अर्गनाइजेसनले आई थिङ्क अर्बन रुफटप प्लानिङ, रुफटप गार्डनिङमा पनि दे हेभ बिन वर्किङ अन। सो त्यस्तो कुराहरूको बारेमा नि इन्फर्मेसन चाहियो, आई थिङ्क यु क्यान स्योरली आस्क टु हिम। सो या अब चाहिँ म सबसँग एकचोटि बिदाय माग्छु। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच प्रतीक सर, इट वाज अ वन्डरफुल सेसन। लेट्स गेट कनेक्टेड इन द फ्युचर एज वेल।
थ्याङ्क यू।
हस्, थ्याङ्क यू, बाई बाई।
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Bye.